So are we like the only two? Hi, staff.
Hello,
How are things?
how are you?
Good. I was just chatting with Lynn Voss. She's on an island.
What's that?
I was just chatting with Lynn Voss.
Oh,
Yeah, she's on an island.
she's on an island?
She's on an island. She moved to an island. She's going to be retiring maybe in April.
Oh,
That's why,
really?
yeah, so she's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to come to the SAU, but even though the doctor said I could go, I was like, just go. I don't understand why you don't want to go. If they're going to pay for it, why not?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I just moved to South Carolina, I think. And she's just like loving life right now.
Nice, nice.
Yes. Although I don't know, Carolinas, hurricanes.
Well, yeah, I'm not
mixed
very
there.
interested in being somewhere there's hurricanes anymore. I'm definitely been there, done that, not
Exactly.
long enough, most of my life. So
Mhm.
I'm definitely, but I'm trying hard. I am working my husband so hard to move to New York. I can't even tell you how hard I'm working him.
Oh my God, are you ready for the snow?
I think it would be nice to have some seasons for once in my life.
Okay, it's seasons. It's 3 seasons. It's basically summer, fall, winter, summer.
Well, let me tell you,
Please
summer
don't.
there is nothing like summer here.
No.
Okay, first of all, summer there is like nice
It's
weather.
like what you're having now, like 70s, 80s.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would love that. Because what we get are hot,
Mhm.
hot,
Hotter.
and about 5 days of not as hot. And then occasionally in the winter, we'll get some really cold,
Yeah.
which we're ill prepared to deal with anyway.
Yes. Well, I just want
So-
you to know
Oh,
this
yeah.
Friday, we're supposed to be having like 50 degrees is going to be the high on Friday.
Yeah. Well, but you're in upstate. I mean, you're even worse than Manhattan. I want to
Yes.
move to Manhattan. And
No, wow.
yeah. Oh, God, yes. Oh, yes.
You want to
I've
move to a
always-
city?
Oh, God, yes. I'm so tired of living in a little podunk place. I want to live somewhere that there's stuff to do. I'm
Well,
sorry,
there's stuff to
Stephanie,
do
that was
here.
funny.
We have
Oh,
opera, we have
I hate living
theater.
in podunk towns. I've spent way too much of my life living in a podunk town.
What you need to do is move here because it's a small town with a big city attitude. It's fabulous.
Yeah, no, that's why I got here. They think they're a big city here too. And sorry, I have lived in a big city. I lived in Houston.
Okay.
And I liked it. Then we lived in College Station and Bryan for a long time.
But
and
look at
now
all these
we've
poor
lived
people,
here.
what happened when COVID hit. They were stuck. We got to go outside. They were stuck in apartments.
I don't care. I could stay in an apartment if I had to. That's why, in fact, you know, that now that you can get everything delivered to you,
True.
you know, as long as there's a laundry in my building and an
Mhm.
elevator, because I can't do a walk up. That's the only thing. I either have to live on the first floor or there has to be an elevator.
Yeah.
And that's my two main things. But yeah, I am like, my mind is set on it. My husband, in fact, he first was like Manhattan only. Then the other day he said, well, I'd like a little, like a garden area. And I'm like, well, in our budget, we're not getting a garden area. Maybe the building has one and you might be able to garden there, but you know, we're not going to get a patio for what we can afford.
Right.
And he said, well, what about like, you know, in just off of Manhattan? I said, I thought we don't want to have to go into Manhattan. I want to be able to like walk out of my door and go somewhere in Manhattan. I don't want to have to go on a 30-minute, 45-minute subway
3-hour
ride.
cruise.
Because I said, we won't do it. I know we've lived in places. We lived in the suburbs of Houston. And yeah, we could have gotten in the car and gone downtown to do things. Half the time we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So
Takes
we're
a
going to
little push.
live in frickin' Manhattan if it here lifts the boat.
Or we
So.
ain't moving.
That's my goal.
There you
So,
go.
I'm softening him up. I showed him an apartment we could afford the other day, and he was kind of like, oh, yeah, that's not, you know, that's not bad.
Okay. Good for you. I will keep my
Anyway.
fingers crossed for you.
Thank you. Well, and I even told him, I went so far as to, because I've been wanting to retire. I'm older than him and I've been wanting to retire. And so I've been telling him, no way that I'm not retiring first. But the other day I actually said, I'll tell you what, if you help me make this happen, I'll get a job in New York. I'll work for a few years. Because I said, there's so many hospitals there and so many residencies. I have no doubt I can get a job because I know how much trouble they're having finding coordinators here. And I'm confident enough about what I do that I could definitely sell myself to them. And I said, I'll do that to do it.
Okay.
And that is going against what I really wanted because I didn't want to really have to get out and go to work in the snow.
True.
But I figure I could probably.
But hey, you know, at this point, they probably would allow work from home anyway. So.
Well, they might. Yeah. So anyway, well, people are joining us. It's just
so
now
who's the
2.
J0067 person?
Yeah, I don't know. Who is
Who's that?
J00673843?
There we go.
Hi. We still like to know what your name is.
I'm Sandy. I'm trying to find it to fix it now.
Oh, okay. I can do it if you can't, but there's a rename up in the little 3 dots.
3 dots, top right.
Up beside your picture. So everybody, yeah, please be sure your name is on your little icon of yourself.
I will change mine.
And ideally, your institution that's nice to know too. Just, you know, that way kind of put a institution and a face with a name all together. And it'll help us when we meet in January at SAU. I hope everybody is going to be able to come to SAU in person. Even though I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not excited about going to Dallas in January.
Me either.
But it
so
is what it
Sandy,
is.
you're our newbie. Welcome.
Welcome. Yes. Well, and Catherine is relatively new as well. She replaced Beverly at University of Oklahoma. Beverly retired. And I think everybody, well, let's see. Everybody else here is a little more, been here a while, I think.
And if the name Robin comes up, that's my colleague over in ENT. She just came back to ENT, but missed out on how to do interviews. So she asked if she could join us. So I just texted her. I haven't heard, but she wanted to join us today.
Okay.
So she could.
Well, and we have one more on the 20th. Denise is going to manage that one just because I have an IPRC meeting. that I
Yeah, she
have to
just said
attend.
she's stuck with the chairman right now. So she may either come late or not at all, depending on how long he needs.
Okay, well, and also you could give her the link or tell her about our YouTube channel and she could watch that. And I'm sorry, my phone's ringing. Let me grab it real quick.
Okay.
Thanks for coming, everyone. This was a nice turnout. Really good to see everybody.
Right. Well, since it is 3 minutes after 2, I'm going to go ahead and start because I'm going to have to leave right at 3. And I can let you guys stay on if you want to, but I have to leave at 3 o'clock. So I think almost everybody here has been to one of these before. And well, Catherine probably hasn't. Sandy hasn't. Robbie Brown is the name that's pretty new to me. Debbie, have you been with us for a while? Okay, I thought I recognized your name, but forgive me if I'm slow. Anne Marie Thompson. Have you been with us for a while?
No, I'm brand new.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So what we usually do is we kind of let people do almost like a pretend interview day. So we would pretend that all of us are candidates except for the person running the show. And I would give the host privileges to
Where are you going?
someone. To
Sorry.
someone.
That was me, sorry.
That's okay. I give the host privileges to someone and then they can run through. I did already set up some breakout rooms, but the nice thing about Zoom now is they have set it up so that you can actually, you don't have to set the breakout rooms before you start the meeting like you used to. You can just click the little 3 dots for more. And I'm going to share my screen and just show you what you see. And this is what you'll see. You can create however many breakout rooms you want to, and you can either say assign automatically, assign manually, or let participants choose the room. So, so when you click on those little 3 dots at the bottom of your screen that say more, and you can click up breakout rooms. And when you do that, then that's when you choose them. So who wants to go first? Someone want to try who's kind of new? I mean, trust me, this is a no judgment zone. Okay, so we want you to learn something, or if somebody who feels like they just want to do it to kind of refresh their memory, they want to go first, and then the newbies, sorry if I'm going to call you that, can watch and then maybe try. Just to give you an idea of how it works, of how the notifications work, because I don't know what all you know about Zoom, but once you put people in a breakout room, then you can send them a notice that, you know, to give them, I usually give them a warning for ours. I give them like a 3-minute warning. And then I give them a 1-minute warning. And then because when you move them out of the breakout rooms, if you do it, it happens immediately. There's no warning unless you close the rooms and open them, which personally I don't recommend doing during your interview day.
No.
So
The only other thing that I can add to that is once you put them in a room, make sure to tell them, do not leave on your own.
Right.
Because if they leave on their own, you're going to be bouncing them around trying to get them back into another room.
And it's kind of a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just make sure when you do your interviews, tell them, do not just kick back and I will do everything. Don't.
Well, and you know, we can even try that. Somebody can be a bad boy or girl and leave the room, and you can see what happens when you're in it, so that you'll know what. I always create at least one extra room when I create my breakout rooms, so that, because sometimes what happens is when they come back in to the main meeting, it won't let you put them in the room they were in. You almost have to put them somewhere else and then in the room. So again, who wants to volunteer to go first? No
I'm
pressure.
Hi, it's Karen. I'm wondering if we want to label some as faculty so that they would stay in the room, and if they pay attention to the chat, you know, faculty do not move.
You can
And-
label, when it's your turn, you can label them however you want.
Okay,
Yeah, let's just do it that way. That way nobody gets stuck doing one thing. We won't assign it, just each person as they do it.
okay.
You can tell the people ahead of time, like when you take it over, like Karen, if you do it, just say, okay, I want Susan and Stephanie and Catherine and Denise to be
Okay.
faculty. And
All right.
just tell us, and just stay in the room no matter what. And you'll put us in our rooms. We'll be in different rooms, obviously, and then you'll start your thing.
Okay, sounds good.
Who wants to go? Somebody.
You go, Catherine.
Somebody?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay, who's I?
Catherine.
Catherine. All right, thank you. Okay, I'm going to assign you to be the host then. And then you'll have to give it up when you're done. You can just give it back to me, I think. I think I can take it back too. All right, so you should be the host now. You can click on the breakout rooms and you'll see there were 5. I created 5, but you can change that if you want to recreate rooms or whatever.
Okay, I see the breakout rooms. Let's create. Hey, it looks like it works. You can hear me okay? Okay, we have 10 seconds left.
So did you set it up? Have everybody, you closed all the breakout rooms then?
Yes. So
Yeah.
I set close the breakout rooms and then I automatically set a 1-minute timer. So did that work okay for everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Good job.
So now you didn't move anybody between rooms.
Oh,
So when you're doing interviews, you're probably not going to just be interviewing one person. You're probably going to be interviewing a number of people. And so what you're going to do is you're going to move those candidates in between rooms.
yeah, I see it.
And you're not going to want to close the rooms and bring everyone back here, because what happens is everyone, including your faculty who are interviewing. So you're going to want to only move the candidates between the rooms.
Real easy.
So again, we can practice. And I was just telling Robbie, what the best thing to do with Zoom to learn it and get comfortable is just to do it and practice with if you have a spouse or a boyfriend or a child or a neighbor or a coworker, get a couple of people. You don't need a lot. You just need 2-3 people that you can kind of practice with and see things that happen and what happens. The more you do that, the more comfortable you're going to be.
Okay. No, that's
So
really helpful. I see now the move to function, so that looks pretty straightforward. So you wouldn't close the rooms until the very end of the day when everyone's
exactly. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
My fear is
Um,
close the room and your faculty come back here, they have every chance to just walk away. At least if you have them out in their breakout rooms, you hope they're not going to walk away from it. You know what I mean? And mine seem to play along really well. So,
okay, and it's not given, I don't know why I'm not seeing my option to take the hosting back. So
So you
I
have to
guess-
be a host in order to do the breakout rooms, is that correct?
a co-host, I believe, can do it. I've never had a co-host, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
But Catherine, if you'll go up to the top and there we go.
Yeah, I made you a host.
Okay, all right. So, so yeah, and we can try it with co-host. We can make, a couple of people co-hosts. That way you can find, I'm 99% sure though that they fixed it so that the co-host can also assign breakout rooms. Because I know at first they couldn't, but they've made a lot of improvements to Zoom since all of this started.
Okay.
So who would like to try next? And also, Jackie, sorry. I was just thinking about Jackie Menzies from University of Miami earlier today. So that's why she's in my head. Susan asked me to put the timer that I use. I'm going to put a link to it in the chat box because it is a really good timer. It's a free timer. It's a really good way to set. I think the link will actually show you my timer. So I have like a interview I have it set to give them a 5-minute warning, a 2-minute warning, a 30-second warning before they go into the candidate lounge. You can set up basically your whole day, and then you start them and then you reset them as soon as they go off, and it works really well, and it's very flexible and easy to change. If you get a little behind or anything like that, you can adjust it very easily. Again, something that you would want to just work with a little bit before you use it the first time, just so that you're comfortable with how to do it. But anyway, so that's in the chat box. Who wants to go next?
I will, it's Karen.
All righty.
I just need to get,
So you can just tell whoever, like if you want some people to be faculty, just tell us who we are.
yeah,
And we can stay put.
for some reason, I'm not getting rid of the chat. Oh, there we go.
Hang on, let's see.
I'm going to rename a couple of you to faculty.
Okay. You can do that. The good thing when you're the host, for you who don't know Zoom a lot, you have pretty much all the control over the whole meeting. You can kick people out, you can change their name, you can do whatever. You can put them in a waiting room. You can do all kinds of things. So you just want to be sure the only people you trust are hosts. So that they don't kick the wrong people out or anything.
I'm putting faculty at the end of your name so that I don't change your whole name. Okay, I believe I made at least 3 of you faculty. I'm going to now see how many rooms we have. Oh, so those did not go back. Okay, I'm gonna have to think for a minute here, looking at all of this.
You can reset the rooms to have whatever you want. You know, you probably just need to have it like 2 or 3, like I'd say 3, maybe.
Create all the rooms. And I'm going to assign manually. So I have 3 rooms. I'm going to assign, who did I make faculty now? Molly is going to go into there. Then who was?
You made Robbie Brown.
Yeah, I
I
can't.
can't see the other person. Their name must be too long.
Yeah, it's not, when you open up, when you do assign, you can't see their whole name. Oh, here's Denise.
Denise. Yeah.
And then if you hover over it, it will, okay. So I assigned 3 faculty, 1 to each room. And then, so now I'll go in and assign others to.
And while she's doing that, I'll just say, usually what I do in the morning first thing is I go ahead and put the faculty, you know, I get them in their room. I don't actually move them into the room until we start, but I get everything done as much as possible because you cannot really pre-assign. Zoom is very weird. You have to have the right email address in there, and there's just some weirdness that happens if you try to pre-assign. So what I found is it's just better to wait and get everybody there. And as soon as they're there, you know, put them in their room, but don't move them because
So
want to
what,
be able to open the rooms all at the same time so that everybody starts at the same time.
okay, so what, it looks like it, what I'm seeing, you know, with the breakout room, room 1, 2, and 3, the thing that you get in the, you know, in the middle is different than what I remember from last year. It seems a little different.
So all you're going to do is pick all of these people that are in the meeting now. You should see their names when you go out to the kind of the right side of the breakout room boxes.
I know, but
And then you pick the room you want them in.
room 2, so who do I have in room 3? I can't remember who I have assigned or not assigned, but now it
Well,
shows.
it should show you. It should show you when you look at out there to the left. You should be able to see who's assigned to what.
Yep.
And just send it to the fax number.
All right. I think I assigned everybody.
Well, if you open the rooms and
Yeah,
somebody doesn't move, then you'll know they're not assigned.
All participants have been invited. Okay. So. All right, so now I'm going to do faculty remain. Let's see if they're going to pay attention. Now, where am I finding the timer. Stop recording, breakout rooms. Okay, where am I finding the timer? Confused.
I've never done this either, Karen, so.
Well, no, again, it looks a little different than from before. Let's see. I don't know where the timer is. I forget where it is. Not getting. Pause recording, stop recording. And of course, I'm using an old computer. Why does this keep showing up?
Okay, so you told us to leave the room.
Right, I couldn't find where the timer was. Couldn't remember.
Well, now the timer you're not going to use until the very end of the day. And that is when you set the rooms up, that's where you set the timer. So if you go to the breakout rooms and tell it to reset, you'll see I think it's under options. I can't look at it, so I have to go by memory, but I believe it's under options, and that might be where you set your timer of how long you want. But you're not going to use that till the end of the day.
Right, it was just, I didn't want you all sitting there because the previous person, set it for 1 minute and you got a thing, okay, come back in 1 minute, leave.
What you're going to want to do is just move people as though they were your candidates.
Right.
So, and so that's why, like, I shared the online timer that I used the last years, and that's the timer you would use that for you knowing when to move people. You're just going to send them that note, those warning notes. Then you're going to move them between the breakout rooms. And that's really what you're going to probably want to practice, is moving people between the breakout rooms, finding out where things are, if they look a little bit different this year, because they very well might.
Yeah, again, the thing that pops up in the middle that says what room it is and then go to assign, it looks a little different than from last year.
Yeah, I can believe that.
So I just closed all the rooms to get everybody back in one, so someone
Okay.
can play with it.
If you want to put me back as the host, we'll let somebody else have a little minute or two. So yeah, when you I'm looking here.
If I can find her.
Oh, Karen, when you hang on just a second, let's see if this will work. Okay, so when you're looking at the breakout room screen, when you click the number that's blue, that is going to show you who's in the room. And it's going to show you who's not in a room. I think, let me see here. I don't think I can, yeah. Unfortunately, the little pop-up that happens when I click that goes away when I try to take a screenshot. So I can't show you, but right now I can see that there are 2 people that are not assigned to a room. That's you, Karen, and Robbie. And everyone else is assigned to a room. And I don't know if they're still in the rooms but only 2 people are not assigned. So that those little blue numbers, what you need to remember in Zoom is everything that's blue is like a hyperlink. It's like something you can do something with. So, and this is why I say, if you practice, if you do it with some other people so that you can mouse around. I always tell people mousing around is one of the most important things you can do when you work on a computer. Just run your mouse around. See, when your mouse turns into a hand, that means you can do something. And so at the bottom of the breakout room screen, you see that options that's in blue. When you click that, that's where you see you can allow participants to choose the room, allow them to return to the main session at any time, move them. You can have the countdown. You can change your countdown settings from anywhere from 10 seconds to 120 seconds. So that's where you do that, is in that breakout room screen.
I have to admit, what I'm seeing now on the middle of your screen is different than what I had.
Then it could be that you don't have the newest version of Zoom.
Probably, because
Usually it will prompt you to get the newest version. I think it's prompted me. I think I have the newest version, to be honest. I'm not positive because I usually count on it to tell me if it needs to upload a newer version. What about it? Well, let's see. Catherine, when you did it, did your breakout rooms look like that? Did your breakout room box look like that?
Yeah, it looked like that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that is another thing. You do want to be sure that you do have the most recently updated version of Zoom. And a lot of times when you go to open it through your institution, it will tell you that you need to do something to update it or let it update or whatever. And you want to say, yes, do it. But if you aren't prompted, and to be honest, I'm not positive, but you might even have to check with your IT about how you do it, or you may be able to just go to Zoom and tell it to update. I'm not really positive about that. So I'm sorry, I can't help you there. Stop the share, and then let's let somebody else give it a go if they want to. Any takers? Don't everybody
I'll
yell?
do it. I'll do it.
Okay, all right. Hang on.
If I can remember what I did last year.
That's all right. That's all right. Sorry, I'm clicking everything but the right thing here. Okay, I made you a co-host just so I can see if you can do
Okay.
everything.
Do I have to, just because, I don't know, I have to make the breakout room?
Well, there are breakout rooms made right
Okay.
now,
Okay,
but what you're probably going to want to do is either recreate them, or you're going to want to unassign people. Like, see if you can go into that breakout room box and you can see the people that are assigned to each room, and they have a check in a blue box. Can you
not
see
on
that?
mine. Mine just says, the names of the people that were there.
You don't see the number to the far right of the box?
Oh, no, I see there's 2 in
That's
the room.
blue.
I can delete them.
Click on the blue box no, not a box, I'm sorry. The blue number 2 by room 1. Click on that.
Oh, okay, got it. I see. I hadn't had to do that before, so.
That's what I'm saying. Like, everything that's blue is something that you can do.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
a hyperlink.
Yeah, I learned something new today.
So you can uncheck those boxes.
I did that.
Okay, and then do the same thing in room 2 and room 3.
I did that.
Okay.
And I'm
And
just gonna leave the people that are faculty and put them to a room.
Okay.
So let's see, I know Denise, were you a faculty? I know, yeah, Okay,
Yeah,
well,
Denise was, Robbie was, Molly was, but Molly left. She had to
Okay.
leave.
who's Robbie Brown? Okay, I see it. Well, I'm gonna put faculty in those 2 rooms. And I'm gonna assign everybody to those rooms. So let's see, I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully, did anybody get the assignments?
No.
That's weird because
But they won't know it until you open the rooms.
there they go. See, good thing I'm practicing because I already forgot about that.
Yeah, well, if you only do this once a year and you haven't done it as many times as I have, which is a
Mhm.
lot because of these Zoom things that I've done.
Yeah.
And I have told people, the
Uh-huh.
reason I offer to do this is to make me better. Because
Right.
I have to practice and I have to, learn things. And so that's why I encourage people to set up their own little test trial working, don't just do this one. Try to set something up with like coworkers and whatever.
Oh. Connie and Mrs. Brown have not joined their room.
Okay. I think you can remind them or something. Let's see. I don't know let's see, what do we have on the breakout room setting? I don't know what we had. Do you know if you had it that they could move when they wanted to? Because usually it makes them move ultimately. I'm unassigned. I must be the unassigned. No.
Yeah, you are because I left you out.
Okay.
Unless you want to
Um,
go to a room.
No, I don't need to, so it looks like now everybody's in their rooms.
Except for Kay Brown.
Oh, I
Can't
see.
be there.
Oh,
Night.
let's see. She's supposed to be in room. Well,
1.
let's just put her in
Mhm.
room 2. Let's see what happens if we move her to room 2. She might not be on right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Clicked. Obviously, your candidates are going to be cooperative,
Right.
right? They're not going to be trying to make your life miserable.
Right. Oh, she said she put a thing saying she'd be right back in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All right.
so yeah, so let's see what
So
happens.
just so you know, too, I don't know if you saw, but you can change the name of the room
Oh yeah,
on
By
the fly.
by
if you
putting
want
on
to.
the when I assign my rooms, I do.
Yeah.
I break them
And
out,
then-
I put the names on there.
And then you just want to, the broadcast message, remember about that. You
Yeah,
click on
I was
that.
just gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you have 1 minute.
And then what I would suggest, just
Mhm.
so that you get that feel because if you don't remember, when you move someone from one room to another, there's
Mhm.
a little bit of a hesitation and sometimes a little bit of a bump. And so if you're not careful, you've got a person you're trying to move from one room to another, and there's that bump happens, you can actually accidentally like move your faculty instead of your candidate. I did that last year one time. And I just quickly put them back where they belong.
I put the wrong applicant in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And then in the middle of my interview, I came to work because I didn't want it to happen, but in the middle of my interview, I lost my power. So I couldn't even
At your
during my interview.
office?
Yes.
Oh my
I should have
gosh.
stayed home to do it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I always come in to do it for that reason.
Mhm.
Because
Well,
I feel like there's more likelihood of this being stable here at work than it
Yep.
is my home. But
guess not. Because I guess it was all hospital. It was hospital wide. So
Mhm.
should I
So
close?
now what you might want to do is you gave them the warning, is
Mhm.
just by their name, and when you run over your mouse over their name, you'll see it says move to. So like you could move Connie to room 2, maybe
Oh,
move
okay.
Karen into room 1. Just
I'll
to
go
get, maybe move some people to room 3. You could pretend that's your lounge, your in between
Okay.
interview, if you have that. Just like I say, kind of just to get the feel of how that works, how it happens, because it seems like every time I do it at first, I'm always like, oh, wait, it jumped and I forgot it was going to jump.
I didn't know Jenny was on. I didn't hear her talking at all.
Yeah, no, I didn't. She was quiet today.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it in.
Yep. Okay, I'll just leave that the way it is. Oh, some people didn't go to the rooms. Hi, Jenny. I didn't know you were on.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm good. I was in a room all by myself, so I came back.
Well, there's other people in there now.
Oh.
Catherine,
She was
Catherine's
moving
not,
people.
but
Yeah.
I was moving
Okay.
people. So
That's all right. You always got to have one who's
Right.
got to, cause you some trouble. So
it's Jenny's the troublemaker. So
there
yeah.
you go. Yeah. Did you get new glasses, Jenny?
I did.
They're cute. I like them.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I do like them. Yeah, they are.
Thanks.
Very, very flattering. I like them.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm just
whenever
saying
you're
to have 50
done
seconds.
moving people around or whatever, then you can close the rooms. Pretend it's, the end of your day, and that's when you're going to close your rooms.
Oh, I'm going to do it now. Okay, I'm going to do it now. Did you get it? Did you finish? I forgot that I was.
So that's when we get the countdown.
Mm-hmm. $43, $42, $41. I usually give them 2 minutes, and then I'll close them.
So you just manually give them a message for 2 minutes
Mhm.
and then you close.
Hey,
I'm not, is everybody back? Let's see. I can look at the rooms now. You still have 3 people in room 1. I guess they just haven't left. They're just being slow.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
296.
All right. So everybody's out of the rooms now. And basically, we just practice moving people around. That was one of the things I was saying that you want to do is when you move people between rooms, they kind of do this little jumpy thing in the breakout room box. And if you're not really, you can't move them too fast. If you move them too fast, you'll actually sometimes move your faculty instead of your candidate. I have done this, I know. So you definitely want to take your time when you do it. Don't get in a rush about it. But it's good to practice it just to kind of see what happens and how it happens so that you'll be a little more prepared for it. So does somebody else want to try? And again, I think, we've got 3 rooms set up, but you can certainly set your own up. And I'll make somebody else a co-host so that they can have a little run at it.
Since I'm managing the next one, I don't need to run at it. I also use WebEx when I interview. So this is good for me to learn and Zoom, but I use WebEx for my.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I don't know why, I just find it for whatever reason, it's super similar, but I find WebEx, the breakout rooms more intuitive. And that's just a personal thing for me because I know my office mate would much rather use Zoom, but I have seniority, so WebEx it is.
Robbie, do you want to try?
Will you co-host and help me?
Sure, yes,
through it?
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay. I mean, I've never done this before, so.
sure. No, absolutely fine. So, the first thing you want to do is look at down at the bottom of your screen, you can see your breakout rooms.
Okay.
If you don't see a 4 boxes, then there's 3 little dots that you'll see it listed.
I see room 1, room 2, room
Mhm.
3.
And right now, everybody has been assigned because we've already been here. Normally, when you come in to a new meeting, nobody will be assigned. And what will happen is, like, if you go up by, it'll actually show you the unassigned people above the first room. But right now, if you click, like I was saying, on the blue number 3 by room 1,
Okay.
you'll see 3 people who are assigned to rooms, 1 person who is not.
Okay.
And you can unassign everyone.
Okay.
By clicking those boxes.
Okay.
And then the same thing in rooms 2 and 3. Just go through and unclick them.
Okay.
And then check and see. I think you can click the options button. You should be able to click the options button, the word options that's in blue.
Okay.
And so you can see what your options are for your rooms.
Okay. So
How long you want your timer to be, because that you can't change. Once you put people in the rooms, you cannot change. You won't get that option. It has to be when they're not in the rooms that you fix that. So you want to do that at the beginning of your day.
Oh, so this is the initial setup. Okay.
Right.
Countdown.
Yeah, because you'll see once you assign them to the rooms, actually you won't see that as an option to use anymore. You'll see the broadcast message. It will actually be in kind of where that is.
Okay. Let's see here. So I see it's checked for allow participants to return to the main session at any time.
And that's up to you. If you want to allow them to, that's fine. But yeah, Susie's going, no, don't do that. I don't let them either. I don't, because sometimes the faculty will tell them, oh, we're done. You can just go back. But that's just kind of it kind of disrupts your flow.
Okay. So it should be on
to be honest,
automatically move.
You maintain the control over this, because if you do that, it's going to go a lot smoother. If you give anybody else any power at all during your interview day, they're liable to mess it up for you.
Okay, so you recommend having what checked? The automatically move assigned participants?
Let's see here. I recommend, yes.
That one. Okay, and then
well, no, actually just unchecking. Yeah, don't check any of those 3.
Oh, okay.
You don't want the participant to choose a room. You don't want to allow them to return to the main session. And you really don't want to automatically move them into breakout rooms. Well, I mean, at the beginning you do, but that's automatic anyway.
And so
I've never, now that I do say that, I don't know if you, like, if I click that and then I say, for example, let me move Paula. See if I can what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to confuse you. I was actually
no, you're fine.
Trying to see where'd Paula go now? I don't see her. That's weird.
So for instance, if it was a 15-minute.
I know you're here, but you're not on my screen. I moved you out of the room. There you are, but it won't let me put you in another room. That's what I was going to try to do, was tell you to, I guess because the rooms are not open yet. That's the issue. Okay, so now I see an unassigned person. Right. I just closed and opened the rooms because I was trying to see what it would do. It didn't do what I thought it would. I don't think I've ever clicked that. And now we have to wait because I didn't change the option to. Sorry, Robbie.
That's okay. I was sudden ended up in a room.
I didn't mean to send you into a room. I don't think I've ever checked any of those boxes. Because once you assign people to the room and you open the rooms, they're going to be, you can have them automatically sent there, but they're going to be asked to go. And as I was telling someone else, your candidates are going to be cooperative. They're not going to really be trying to not do what you ask them to do. So, so I don't think it's necessary for that to be checked.
So if it's going to be a 15-minute meeting, like we talked about with Susan, or 10-minute, where their time says 30 minutes right now, then that would say 10 minutes. If it were a 10-minute, whatever we decide it's going to be.
Are you talking about the rooms?
Mhm.
No, because you're not going to want to close the rooms at all until the end of your day. Okay, so you don't want to close those rooms. You don't want to check that box for sure.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Pretty much everything you want to manually do yourself. You don't want Zoom to do anything for you.
Right.
What about the countdown?
Well, that countdown is fine because what that will do is at the very end of your day, it'll be like a countdown that they'll see that they have 60 seconds until the end of that interview.
Okay.
But it will only work at the very last interview session of your day or your session. Like we do, say, 4 sessions in a day. So I will close the breakout rooms at the end of each session of, say, 7 interviews.
Okay.
So that is fine. 60 seconds is okay. It could be less, it could be 30, because you're broadcasting a message to them usually using this. If you use the timer, use this timer, you'll be sending them a broadcast message when these things happen. And I'm looking 6.5, 7.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11. Yeah. See, this is like we had 12-minute interviews. So that's why I have 6 minutes and 30 seconds until they get a 5-minute warning. So that tells me to broadcast a 5-minute warning message.
Ah, okay.
This one, then once I do that, I start this timer, and that tells me to give them a 2-minute warning. And then when that goes off, then I push this timer to give them a 30-second warning that they're going to move to the candidate lounge. So you can put all this information in to kind of help keep you that way too. If you get somebody comes into your office or calls you or something disrupts your flow, you have a little bit of a help to kind of go, oh, where was I? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was moving people to the candidate lounge. And then there's a warning for the interviews are going to resume. And then a warning, another warning, because my faculty told me they like to get more than one warning. So that's why I'm giving them now like 5-minute, 2-minute, 30 seconds so that they can like finish up real quick and they don't feel quite as, because I don't know again how much you know, but basically once you move them, they're just sucked out of the room. So mid-sentence, whatever. The only people who have any kind of benefit are the people that are talking to Dr. Moy, because I can hear if there's voices. So if it sounds like they're in the middle of kind of something, I'll put him off till last for the people that I move. But anyway, so if you want to, let me stop my share. And how about I wonder if we recreate the rooms. Don't want to incite.
So with that timer, is that automatically going to go off or you have to push the button?
No, you have to tell, well,
You have to
it
tell
goes
it.
off at the end I'll put, let me show you. It'll go off at the end of, you see how it's counting down right now?
Mhm.
Because I put it on the 30-second one, just so you wouldn't have to wait very long. And then it will go off in 30 seconds. And usually I don't wait till the end of 30 seconds. I write my little message and then, or in this case, I just get ready to move the first person. I might even start. Then you heard it go off. So then I know to go ahead and start moving people. And then you start the next one. And then I start it. I go into the breakout room thing and I write my message. 2-minute warning, interviews will resume in 2 minutes. And then when that time is up, that's when I move the people into their next interview. If that makes sense.
So you're
Again,
basically,
this is something good to practice
yeah.
with 2 or 3 people. If you can get a couple of people, like say, even if it's your kids and your husband, you know, for 5 minutes, because really it doesn't take very long to just try it one time, you know, and just see what it does, kind of so that you can work all the kinks out. And then you just reset those. Like I'll go back at the end, you know, after we end the interviews, I'll go back and reset everything. And it doesn't actually start until I tell it to start.
And Robbie, if you feel nervous about it, just have one of your residents sit with you and watch the clock for you. You know,
Okay.
that's because that's what I do with my Gen Surge. We do our interviews together. So I'm watching the clock and while she's like, okay, is it typing time? Okay. And then we both, you know, we're both on it. So it's helpful if you have somebody the first time with you, just to at least help clock watch for you.
Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So now if you want to try, I reset the rooms. I went in and I reset the breakout rooms. So now there's just 3 rooms. Nobody's assigned. You can start from scratch. You can look at that and you can assign people. If you want to really do it like it was an interview where you basically got, you know, don't pay attention to everybody and you just put 2 people in each room, 1 person as your faculty, 1 person as your candidate, and then just kind of, you know, in a abbreviated way, kind of go through.
Right now there's 3, 4, and 4.
Oh, you need, let's see, how do you do that? Go to the breakout rooms and hit recreate. Click on the box and say recreate then.
Ah,
Because mine shows only 3 rooms with nobody in them.
might still do. No.
So when you hit recreate, it doesn't open a little window that tells you like how many rooms you want to create.
Yeah, it says create X amount of rooms, and but it's blue where it says assign automatically and a check mark.
Take that off, uncheck that. You want to assign manually.
Okay. We'll do 4 rooms.
You always want to assign manually
Okay.
because you are going to want to be able to say, Jim Smith goes into room 1 with Dr. Drake. And this other person goes into room number 2. You don't want Zoom to decide who goes with who.
And then assign manually.
So hit assign manually and then say recreate.
Recreate. Oh, okay. Now they're empty. Okay, perfect.
Okay. And then now you'll go to each assign when you up there by each room, and you can click the blue assign and you'll see everybody that's in the meeting.
Okay.
And you'll see nobody has a checkbox beside their name. And remember that you're in room 1 right now. So who do you want to put in room 1? Maybe a faculty. So you want to put Robbie. Well, you don't want to put yourself because you're not that wouldn't work. Just put like, somebody, Susan, you could put Susan in, put her in room 1 and then somebody with her.
I put Denise in room 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
And
Denise is number 1.
and then you just open the room.
Yeah, if you want to pretend though you're having like interviews, you're open. So you're gonna put 2 people in 2 rooms. Let's say you're just doing 2 interviews. You got 2 people, got 2 rooms. So put 2 people in the other rooms, 1 faculty, 1 candidate.
Ah, okay, hold on. I can't see who else is a faculty.
Just you, the other person left.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so you can just make somebody else.
okay.
You can make Susan, she'll be faculty. She's been around long enough. Or Jenny, either one.
Jenny's in room 2, so, because I actually put everybody in rooms. So we're gonna do, and just them and the one person that they're interviewing with.
Right, like it
Okay.
would just kind of be your interview day, abbreviated. And so now, once you've assigned those 4 people and you're ready to go, that's when you say, open all rooms. Now you want to be sure your options are right before you open the rooms, because you won't be able to change your countdown timer until after you close the rooms. So
Okay,
that's-
I'm gonna open the rooms. So it
Okay.
should be 4 people will go away.
Okay. And then when you look at your breakout room screen, just FYI, because let's say somebody comes into your meeting late or somebody accidentally loses their connection and they have to rejoin, you can see all the people that are unassigned at the top above the rooms.
Okay, that and where it's red.
Right.
Okay,
Shows you 8 people. I mean, you would never have that many in a interview day you would only have maybe 1, because, you won't know if they get bumped out of the meeting because they're in a breakout room and you can't hear anything in the breakout rooms. You don't know what's going on in those rooms. So the only way they got kicked out is when they rejoin and they pop up. You're sitting there and you're doing whatever you do in between. And all of a sudden there's somebody there.
so the broadcast message to all,
Mhm.
what is that?
You click that. You're going to type that. That's what you're going to use to give them their warnings.
Oh, okay.
So if you're going to give them like I do, a 5-minute warning or a 3-minute warning or however many minutes you're going to give them, you're going to put that in the broadcast message. And then when your timer goes off, you're going to hit the send button, the broadcast button. So you type your message. You can type your message at the beginning. That's what I usually do. I put them in the rooms. I type the message at the beginning. So I'm all ready to go. As soon as the timer goes off, that it's time for me to give my first message, then I click that broadcast and I don't have to, that way I don't have to worry, oh, wait, it caught up with me and now I'm typing real fast and there's a typo in it or whatever. And
do I close the room or is it?
You don't close the room. So
No.
you're going to send that message. Okay.
I did. I think.
And
I did.
then after your timer goes off, that it's time to move them, then you're going to move them. So you're going to move your person that's not a faculty. If you move your mouse across their name, you see it says move to. And then you
okay.
click the room you want to move them to.
Move to.
And if you're moving them directly, now see, I always move in between every interview. They go into a candidate lounge for like 3 minutes to give the faculty a little bit of time to make their notes or whatever. So all the candidates would, in this case, go into room 3. And then I would tell them, okay, you have a 2-minute warning. And then I would start the interviews again and they would go back into the next room. Some people just go from interview to interview to interview. And if you do that, that's fine. If your faculty are good with that, absolutely fine. And you would just then, after your warning and your timer goes off, then you would move them into the next room.
So I entered, did they all come back? Okay.
Jenny's not back.
No.
Oh yeah, it says not joined.
There she
Oh
is.
wait, no, that's not.
Jenny.
Yeah, she's not in there anymore. It doesn't give me the option to put main. It just says
So
room.
close the
1 and
rooms.
3. Okay.
when you do the closed rooms, then that'll make everybody come back automatically. But again, that's what you want to do at the very end of your day.
Okay.
Because depending on how many stations you have, you don't want your faculty to be jumping back and forth. They're not going to want to do that. First of all, if they're like in the middle of saying something, if they interview together and they're talking about the person they just interviewed, God forbid, and they're saying something that, shouldn't be said in the room with everyone. Well, that guy was weird or whatever, right? As we know, I mean, let's be honest, right? Wow, that was awkward, whatever it is. You don't want that. So it's best if they're in their room and then they know when they're alone in their room. And I will say your faculty have probably done this before, but any faculty who have not, I would try to do just a quick dry run with them, just to kind of show them what it's like when they get put in the room. And what I told them is, once I put you there, just stay there. Just stay there until I move you. Don't move yourself. Don't do anything. You can get up and go get coffee. Just stay in your breakout room.
Okay. Don't leave.
All right.
Thank you.
Sure. Hopefully that's, I know it seems like a lot, but I swear to you, it's not.
Oh, no,
It's
I'm a
not.
practice.
Just practice. Exactly. That's what you want to do. Just spend as much time as you can.
Needing to leave. Thank you again, as always, Steph and everyone. Great to see you all.
Thanks, Karen. Good to
Bye-bye.
see you. So yeah, I'm gonna need to run too. We can certainly, even if everybody, if people want to, you can message me. We can do another quick one even after the, in between, even now and the 20th, if somebody wants to. I'm happy to do it. Like I say, it helps
I'm happy
me.
to be a
I don't-
body, so if you need me, no worries.
Thank you
I don't
both so
know.
much.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. It doesn't even have to be, sometimes it's good when it's just like 4 or 5 people,
Right.
right? Because then you can just really kind of pretend, okay, here's an interview station and this is what's going to happen. So, so I hope everybody got a
This
little
was very
something.
helpful.
Good,
Thank
good, good. All right.
Have a great day.
Take care.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Robbie, send me your
Bye.
email
Bye.
address.
Bye.
right, thank
I will. Thank you.
See you later.